In Washington state, police drew their weapons and fired at a 35-year-old man who had been running from them, then turned to face the police. The video's, of course, gone viral. It is being considered the Ferguson moment for Hispanics. It's getting plenty of attention not only in the American Northwest but around the world as American law enforcement continues to struggle with their appointed job of protecting the population and not overreacting while seemingly just going in for the kill. This and much more. Let's welcome back best-selling author, radio commentator, and CNBC contributor Carol Roth joins us. Carol, good to see you again.
You too, Ed.
Carol, this is an interesting story because now the family of the man shot in Pasco, Washington, has filed a $25 million claim against the city, alleging the officers killed the unarmed man execution style, and we are hearing echoes of Ferguson. The police departments around the country have got a lot to answer for right now.
Well, I think that one of the big challenges here is when they file that lawsuit against the city, you know whose pocket that's coming out of, right? That's not coming out of, quote unquote, the city's pocket because they don't really have any money. That's your and my money. So, it becomes very challenging that often the people who are perpetrating these alleged issues and crimes aren't having to really face the music, aren't the ones who are responsible, and it really ends up being a larger burden for the taxpayer. So I think there's a broad issue there. But the other thing that I will say about this, and it's very hard to judge, I did see the video, it's very hard to judge from where we're sitting what exactly happened in all of these scenarios. And I think that, whether you're talking to your loved one, your child, or just yourself, you have to use common sense in these scenarios. If you are dealing with the police, you should not be assaulting them. You should not be running from them. You should not be doing anything to antagonize them. You say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You cooperate. And if you do those kinds of things, these larger issues don't happen. So I'm not saying that the force was or was not justified. I really don't know. I wasn't there. But I do think that in every one of these scenarios, there's some personal responsibility and accountability on the account of the victims where they're not behaving appropriately. And I think that we need to have a national conversation about that as well.
Well, let's also point out, Carol, to your point that apparently this man was throwing rocks at cars and trucks. He was confronted by the officers. They asked him to stop, low-level force. They tried a taser. That did not work. Right. He then threw rocks at the police themselves. And apparently the family says he didn't speak English, so they couldn't understand him in the first place, the officer's commands. Why not get a Hispanic officer? Look, hindsight is 20/20 here in many ways.
In what language is it okay to throw rocks at police officers?
That is
the point.
There's
a universal language that you're not supposed to do that.
That is indeed the point, and that's what the police will say, is they have to react in a situation, because not always when you come to these situations do you know every last specific detail here. Hindsight, again, always 20/20 in these cases.
Always. And I think that goes back to personal responsibility. There is a universal language of common sense, although it is becoming more and more uncommon every day, and that you need to behave appropriately and with due respect. And if you do that, you won't find yourself in these situations.
60 seconds left. Very quickly, the world's first hotel staffed entirely by robots is opening in Japan. Carol, this is a little creepy.
It's totally creepy. As a business traveler, I was always concerned about stalkers and cleanliness and bed bugs, and now I have to be concerned about robot staff killing me in my sleep.
What is it? Wait a minute, Carol. What are you working on here? A new movie? This will be sci-fi here. You don't pay your bill, they come to the room.
Elon Musk and Bill Gates has been warning us about artificial intelligence gone wrong, and if they are really going to use artificial intelligence for evil, some perpetrators, where's the obvious place to start? It's not going to be as, some military. It's going to be in your hotel room. So I'm very creeped out by this, Ed. But I also think very interesting implications for the people who are championing raising the minimum wage. At some point in time, you will find yourself replaced by a robot if you are not deriving the value that is being required by this particular wage. So be very careful what you ask for, because it could end up that you're replaced by a robot who then ends up killing me in my sleep.
Nothing will happen to you, Carol. We have it done on video right here. We're all out of time. Thanks so much, Carol. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, take care. Second hour of MidPoint on deck.